Hey everybody, it's Yuki giving you guys a little bit of a preview for the end of the year and next year. As we prepare for the Retro Yuki 2.0, it is time to get ready for next year and the rest of this year. I'm gonna be going over how Retro Yuki 2.0 works. I'm also going to go over why vertical streaming is going to be the thing, and I want to go over some analytical stuff with you guys because this is going to be giving you an idea of how vertical streaming could be 2026 and VR chat can compete with other games. Let's talk about first what's coming up for the rest of the year because this is going to start right away as soon as Monday of next week. So on Monday we are having Mario Maker. Excuse me, not Mario Maker, Mario Meltdown. But we are going to be on YouTube on its channel, You Can Mario World. As you guys can see here. That is from now on. Okay, by the way. So you have Mario on Mario, okay? So we have the horizontal and vertical on Mondays and Wednesdays on YouTube at 5:45, and you also get TikTok at 9:45 on the same days. Same exact hack, by the way. Albeit we are in part 5. I was thinking of starting over, but the audience said no. So that is Mondays and Wednesdays. On the afternoon, YouTube. On night, TikTok. Mondays and Wednesdays. Then you have uh, Tuesday. Tuesday is a content day at this moment. Actually, no. Yeah, actually, yes. Tuesday is a content day. So consider that right now as an off day. When Thursday is going to be our VR chat day, but it's going to be on Retriki VRC. I have not scheduled it yet because I'm also getting ready for the Kick channel, as you guys can see here. We're going to be on both YouTube and Kick at the same time, under the same name. I'll explain what's going on with that in a moment, why this is a move, and why you should also consider that if you are a content creator here on YouTube. Fridays is going to be on Yuki Night. That's a different channel. It's not ready yet. That's why I'm not going to show you Yuki Night yet. But it's Fortnite material. So basically, it's this stuff on Fortnite on Fridays, but on a new channel called Yuki Night on Friday nights. Saturday, as you guys know, it's Mario Maker Saturday. That's going to stay. Okay, that's going to stay. And we're going to be talking about Twitch later because we need to talk about a certain part of analysis, which I want to go over later. So this is going to be our home on Saturdays. And I'm going to explain why we're doing so well on Twitch. Sundays, we're going to be on this channel, but for indie games like Mall Simulator. So it is on Sunday right here. Okay. Now I want to get into why this is going on. I've noticed the algorithm for YouTube has changed. What do I mean by this? So, the way YouTube works is by algorithm. And any channel on YouTube is going to recommend you stuff based on what you like, what you don't like, and what the channel is aligned for. In this example, for Yuki Mario World, we have a lot of Mario stuff. Mario ROM hacks, Mario 64, Mario ROM hack in development, that's myself, and other stuff that relates about Mario. So by expectation, you expect me to upload stuff on Mario on this channel, which makes absolute sense, right? So, but what if I decide one day, hey, I want to upload Pokemon, then the algorithm is not going to be nice unless unless you are Queso, because Queso's a big streamer. So, and I'm saying that nicely because a lot of people are gonna actually say figuratively, say Queso is a big streamer, like literally. Okay, let's not do that. Anyway, now what about VR chat stuff? VR chat is on RetroYuki VRC. Algorithmically, this is going to give you VR chat videos because this is VR chat material. That's straightforward there. VR gaming. Nothing on here yet because I have not uploaded yet. Wait until later tonight or tomorrow because I am giving you guys something cool about cricket, the game of cricket in VR. So right off the rip, I already told you VR, not VR chat. That's different. And then we have tabletop tales for table games. Although I might move it to this channel, we'll see. Indie RetroYuki Indie Gaming is all about indie games, as you guys can see that makes sense. And we have RetroYuki VRC. This channel is linked to this channel is linked to oh, I meant to say oops. I actually meant to say Yuki the Hedgehog. Yuki the Hedgehog is going to be linked to this channel because of VR chat live streams. So this goes over here by trade, but they're linked together because this channel is live. This channel will not, but they're linked because I'm gonna be posting live streams for Yuki the Hedgehog here, content over here. So like reactions and all that. So that's the link up there. And then you have the indie games and you have Retro Yuki at the VRC, all VR chat with Yuki the Hedgehog. Okay, that makes sense. Now let's talk about another of the first elephant in the room, and that is something that I have been seeing for the last few weeks, and I do not think it's a surprise anymore. Vertical streaming. So, vertical streaming started about last month, and ever since then, I've noticed a big trend. The vertical streams get more love than the horizontal streams, and I don't think it's I do not think it's an experiment anymore. At least for this channel. We'll see what happens when we can move it to other channels. But as you guys can already notice, the vertical streams are doing better than horizontal streams. Look at last night's stream of Mall Simulator. At 51 views, 4 views per hour, compared to the horizontal version. The horizontal version only got 6 views. Okay? That's it. So a lot of people prefer this one to be the winner. Okay? What about the other games? Same deal. The horizontal stream only got 26 on Duck Teamer. The other one, the vertical version, got 75. That's almost 3 times as much. This is 3x right here. Okay, 3x as much. Okay, and I don't think it's even close. All right. All right, I'm moving this. Yeah, 3 times is more. Same thing with this game, Sandova Uprising. That's about 4 times as more if I'm doing my math right. 14, 28, 46. Yeah, I think 4 times as much. Okay? But my point is, vertical is winning, and I don't think it's an experiment anymore, and I'll explain why. But first, let's give you one more example. If we take a look at the past streams, content, and live, you're going to notice a trend most of the time. Pay attention to this. I'm highlighting the birthday stream. Okay. The one on the top is vertical. The one on the bottom is horizontal. And I tell you it's vertical because it's a key word there. Right? I already tell you that's vertical right there. Okay? So, with this, that's 75 to 29. That's almost 3 times as much. And I believe it is 3 times as much. Because 25 times 3 is 75. Okay? Now, yes, the horizontal gets more comments, but the vertical got more views. When combined, it is almost over 100. Look at Fortnite, a game that never does well on this channel. By trade, actually. If you guys remember, when I first started Fortnite on this channel, it never does well. Even horizontally. But add the vertical component, and we have a different story. 100 to 20. That is exactly 5 times as much. Okay? So there's a trend here. There's a big trend here. Vertical is winning, and I don't see it as an experiment anymore. Okay? I really think vertical is the way to go. Look at this. 159. Now, do note that this is a sample size of 1 month of streaming vertically. Okay? 1 whole month of vertical streaming. This does not take into effect, this does not take TikTok into account because by trade, that is vertical format. Okay? So, you got to remember, TikTok is automatically horizontal. The point I'm getting at is comparing the horizontal streams to the vertical. Okay? That's why I'm showing you this. And in fact, if we take a look at the dashboard, in the analytics section, you're going to notice that we have a big spike right around here. All right, we have a big spike around this area between October 26th and October 31st. Now, today would have been nice for a Halloween game, but because I did not get Silent Hill F yet, I will not be able to get it. That's okay. But my point is, look at that spike. That is not hyperbole because this is the result of going after the correct audience. And it's also the result of trying out vertical streaming. And it's been very well. It's been doing very well. And I cannot wait to continue the trend of vertical streaming, which is why it's going to be part of Retro Yuki 2.0. Okay? Now, let's also explore the next point. The next point I want to go over is, yes, this will be in 2026 as well. Vertical streaming. And yes, it will be on YouTube. The next point I want to go over is VR chat. And in particular, why I decided to go on Kick rather than on Twitch for the multi-streaming. There's a few reasons why. First, let's talk about another game that I've been doing well on on Twitch is Mario Maker. Why does Mario Maker get a spotlight in this when I'm talking about VR chat? Because we need to talk about both games in their respective right. Mario Maker, in terms of what it is, it relies on UGCs, user generated content. And the user generated content for Mario Maker is viewer level nights, where viewers would send me their levels, as you can see here. And I actually make levels for Mario Maker too. If I wanted to, I'll share them live on stream if I wanted to tomorrow, if for some whatever reason. Okay? VR chat relies on audience participation, not UGCs. Why do I mean by that? Because you have to come to the lobby, which is going to be, you have to be literally in VR chat for it to be counted as an interaction. With Mario Maker, all you have to do with me is give me your level, give me the code, and I'm done. I just play your level, you're good. That's it. With VR chat, you literally have to get off YouTube and get to my lobby, and that takes about 5 minutes. With this, it takes about 30 seconds. Now, does that mean both games have don't have flaws? No. But why am I doing well in Mario Maker? Then why am I going to be doing um, VR chat on Twitch? I mean on Kick, excuse me, rather than Twitch. Let's pay attention to the research tab, because this is going to give you a big idea of, of competition. So we're going to the creator dashboard, and we're going to go to the research tab, which is under analytics. If we take a look at the research tab, and we're particularly speaking of this graph, okay, we have to pay attention to this graph right here. All right, time to stream on Mario Maker. So I looked at this when I first started streaming in like 2017, 2018, whenever that was. I never looked at this graph at all. I just said it was a bunch of numbers and all that. But as time grew on and I started looking at my streams analytically, I started looking at this graph, both graphs. So so the way this works is you select the day that you want to stream a certain game, and on the bottom graph is the viewer to count to channel ratio. How many viewers are you going to get on your stream based on the time of day? So let's say, for example, actually this is not an example because I do this. Saturdays at 9:45. Now 9:45 does not exist in the form of this graph because they go by whole hour. But if we take a look at like 9 p.m., there are 12 channels on at a given time for Mario Maker and what 325 viewers. Now, that doesn't sound much, right? It's only 12 channels. But keep in mind this. You have a 1 in 12 chance of getting discovered. Okay? Again, doesn't sound like much. But if we literally calculated 1 divided by 12, I believe that is 15%. If my mental math is correct. 1 divided by 12. No, that's 0.08%. Okay, 0.8. Okay. So, that's 0.08% or multiplied by 100, which is going to be 8%. 8.33. Okay? So when multiplied by 100, that's 8.3. Okay? Doesn't sound like much. It's only 8%. Duh. Let's take a look at the same graph. I mean, the same concept for VR chat. All right. So keep 8.3% in your mind. Also, let's take a look at the region. North America at 9 p.m. 12 channels still. And then it goes down later down the line. Let's take a look at VR chat on Twitch. VR chat, and particularly on a Thursday. Again, we're looking at this graph right here. And I am going to show you guys how bad it is, competition-wise. So Thursday in particular, because we stream on Thursdays and at 5 p.m. You're looking at 116 on average per day. Let me see at another day. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. So let's take a look at 116. So 1 out of 116. So we did Mario Maker at 112 at 8.3%. Okay. How about VR chat? And this is going to be very bad. 0.008, which multiplied by 100. Oops, I'm a mistake there. 1 divided by 116 is equal to 0.008 multiplied by 100. To get a percentage, 0.86. That is bad. Especially if you're brand new as a streamer for VR chat. This is horrible. Okay? Now, you might be saying, wait a second, you have a YouTube channel. True. True. Because it's Retro Yuki VRC. Now, that could still go up only because of the YouTube influence. But we're going to examine this as if you do not have a YouTube channel. Okay? So that's why Mario Maker on Twitch makes sense over VR chat, right? What about Kick? Kick for both games are better. I'm going to refresh this because it's probably changed. Okay, we have a big shot. Big change here. So, as you guys can see automatically, VR chat has 158 viewers on Kick right now. But there are only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's only 9 channels here. And you can immediately get above the fold just by getting one. On Twitch, in VR chat, if we take a look at my channel, the channel for VR chat, the category, let's go by high to low. Okay. Regarding the above the fold, look at how much you need for above the fold. You need 50 viewers. Okay. 50 viewers. Okay. Assuming that this ad is not there, you still need 50 viewers to get above the fold. And I'm going to tell you, we ain't getting no above the fold. No shot. With Mario Maker, that is why I tell you, make sure you know what game you want to play. Especially with streaming. Okay, right now it is a lot, most likely because of this puppy right here, this guy. And these guys are like the big, quote unquote, big streamers here. But to get above the fold, you only need 5 viewers, as shown here. You only need 5 viewers to get above the phone. Rather than on VR chat, it's 80. You can achieve 5 if you know what you're doing, especially with viewer level nights. You are most likely going to get more viewers on viewer level nights or expert runs on the endless run challenge without without opening your eyes, blindfolded. If you're doing a challenge, you're gonna get there. But my point is above the phone. How do you get discovered? That's why I'm choosing Kick over Twitch when it comes to um multi-streaming for VR chat. Also, the rules. Twitch has a new rule. You're not supposed to. You can multi-stream, but you're not supposed to interact with YouTube viewers. Because they think it's competition, and actually, Twitch has beef with Kick. So what happened was, streamers who stream on Kick and Twitch got their Kick links removed because Twitch has another thing where Kick does not. If we go to our random Kick stream right now, hold on, let's do this on Twitch first because we're already here. If we do this on Twitch, okay, this guy doesn't have it. Okay, this guy doesn't have it. This guy doesn't have it. Okay, I think I know what's going on because right now there's a promotion going on where you can actually go ad free for 1 month. But assuming that the promotion wasn't going on, if these guys are affiliated, you're going to get an ad. But right now, because of the whole promotion thing that's going on with no ads, I think that's why they're doing it. But assuming that they didn't have that promotion, um, you're getting an ad. Okay, this is just a loading screen. But Kick, you definitely get no ads. Okay, that's why Twitch is being little petty, because obviously the split of revenue 95-5 versus 50-50. Okay, so that's what's going on. You don't get ads on Kick, and the split is 95-5. Now, let's go over one more thing. And this is going to give you a preview of 2026 as well. So I gave you the whole part of the research tab, Twitch, why I'm going on Twitch, on Kick for VR chat. I want to go over now the actual experiment when it comes to vertical streaming. So let's take a look at this. We're going to go jump all the way to October now. It's September and October. November, I have not put up the numbers yet because I'm going to actually fix the schedule. But in September, we started the whole vertical horizontal streaming thing, right? So I want to go over the simplified graph, and that is this graph right here. So as you guys can see, I divided the categories from horizontal and vertical. I'm going to do vertical in green. Okay. So as you guys can see, right off the rip, Mario is in first place horizontally. Okay. Now keep in mind, this was in the old algorithm. Okay. because it was still in September. The Mario ROM hacks have 142 views and finished in first place. But vertically, Mario finished in second compared to Fortnite. Now, part of that was actually one of the streams getting over 100 views out of nowhere. Okay, I think 50 or 100 views out of nowhere. Fortnite on the horizontal side finished in second place with 110. Fortnite never does that well horizontally. And then we had what was Surrounded Sundays, that one zombie game. It got 65 views and ended up in third. Now, in vertical format, Surrounded ended up in third, but not by that much. It was that close. Alright? But, as you guys note, however, pay attention to this part of the graph. In the horizontal and in the vertical, vertical streaming had over 100 more views than the horizontal. Okay? That's where 773 comes from. I combined both. Okay? So, that's what you can see. The horizontal and the vertical is over 100 views more. Okay? Now let's get into this month. Now I don't have the now I never did the whole graph for this month because it went unranked because of the fact that we're doing a Spooky Yuki. But we're doing this in November tomorrow with Mario Maker first. But technically we're doing this to start on November 2 for indie games. But let's look at our stuff for October when it comes to the main channel. Because this is where we did the experiment on. For the most part, as you guys can see already, we're going to do vertical as a keyword. There are 39 vertical streams this month. As you guys can see off the rip, all of these are over 50, except for the Spooky Yuki Day 11. But I will tell you, I believe that stream beat the horizontal. Let's keep going. As you guys see, another 93, another 88, 65, 159, 29, 23, 131, 107, 79, 50, 45, 57, 46, 33, 44, 41, 54, 87, 39. And that is technically it because we do not count March 7, 2025 because that was just a trial run. So everything with Fortnite and onward counts. Okay? But as you guys can see, there are mostly more views on the vertical than the horizontal. Alright? I'm telling you guys this. Vertical is the way to go. But I'm still going to be doing horizontal because by rule I'm supposed to. So pay attention to the other channels, please. So this will definitely be in 2026. Here's the deal, too. Pay attention to this. That doesn't count. The 75 views does not count for the ranking of VR chat. But if it was ranked under normal circumstances, with every content, that's first place right now. Seriously. First or second. Because of indie games, that's first place. If you look at it by in hindsight. 75. That's not that is what I would have gotten in 2021 horizontally. This is what I'm doing vertically for one stream. Now remember, this is a very small sample size of one. But if this happens again on Thursday on the Retriki VRC channel, then we're talking like it actually makes sense. But keep in mind, this doesn't count because this is on the main channel and I didn't rank it. So once we start on Monday, everybody's fair game. Mario, VR chat, Fortnite, indie games. Everybody's fair game. Both horizontally and vertical. That's why we started in November for VR chat rather than random day in October. Okay? So pay attention to this. Because if this happens again on Retriki VRC, VR chat is going to be at least in top 3. We'll see what happens with Mario and Fortnite on Yuki Night. But for the first time, I can say VR chat is back. Technically. We'll see what happens on Thursday. Because, again, if 75 views happens on Thursday, and we have competition, good things are coming. Alright? Now, it counts for analytics for YouTube. It does not count for my spreadsheet because I did not rank October because of all the Spooky Yuki stuff. Because if I added Spooky Yuki stuff in indie games, VR chat is going to be in last place because indie games just dominated. And when I mean dominated, I actually mean it. Because if we take a look at, I have a graph. Look at this. Indie games, right here. Oh, that's a bad color. Right here, indie games, 550. VR chat was not ranked because it didn't. 75 would be at least 4th place if I put VR chat on a board. But that's okay because it was just my birthday stream and then checking out numbers. Okay, but let's see what happens with VR chat now that vertical is a thing. And the first test is on Thursday, so get ready for that. Let's see if that 75 views was this a fluke or that's real. Okay, so yeah. Scheduling in November and other stuff. Okay, so scheduling in November works like this. Albeit my schedule is going to be off now that TikTok is back. So if we take a look at this, you can download this on my website now. Okay, so right now, Mario will be double. So this is actually 2. Because if we take a look at this, I'm going to go back here. This is actually going to be 2 Mario streams. One on TikTok, one on YouTube, on Yuki Mario World. So this is going to be 2. This is always going to be 2. This is going to be 1. 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 But I'm going to change this to YouTube here. So right now, the balance right here is YouTube is the dominant. Kick is a newcomer. Twitch is the dominant too because of Mario Maker. TikTok is going to be the big one when it comes to a test. Because will the algorithm on TikTok be nice? It has been nice in the past, but you have to remember the algorithm changes every so often, so you have to be very very careful. So, for the most part, um, actually Tuesday, oops, I changed my drawing app. I accidentally closed it. Oopsie. Hold on, it's coming back. Anyway, so if we look at the schedule, Tuesday is gonna be content day. So I'm gonna change this to content day. I don't know why my drawing app did not. Okay, right here. There we go. This is gonna be a content day. So like any other channel, you want me to make content? There you go. Mario ROM hack. I will put Mario Small Mario because for Monday and Wednesday we'll be on YouTube and TikTok. So I'm gonna be doing this. Like this. Like that. There we go. That's the deal right there. Alright. So yeah, that's the schedule for November. That's your soft landing of what's going to be happen for the next 2 months and what could be in 2026. I'm gonna fix the schedule here so that you guys can have it for starting on tomorrow. So yeah, enjoy, and I cannot wait to give you more in 2026. Enjoy.